little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I have been listening to Big Finish, and it's not been a bad experience. In fact, I've really got to do a mid-year review. Like, we got to do a review of how Big Finish has done in 2022. Honestly, I think it's been their best years for a long, long time. They've had a few, I would say, kind of ropey years: 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. I mean, a lot of them was a few dismal years, but they've really relaunched a lot of ranges, and I think they've refocused. More often than not, the releases that I get from them are good, are recommends, which I'm really excited about. I'm happy to recommend. I'm always happier recommending Big Finish. Really, I genuinely am. So I have been listening to The War Doctor Begins, which is a range I quite like, and I was trying to decide, is this a recommend? Is this a recommend? And what does that mean? Look, honestly, you have one awesome story, one good story, and one a story that kind of misses the mark. With a problem that really should be been caught in the script editing stage. But in general, I think I'm on board for this series, right? I got the first 4 box sets pre-ordered. They announced the second season, which I really hope they do, because I really like this Doctor, and I really want to explore this Doctor. I will sign up for it unreservedly. At this point, which is that really, really genuinely makes me happy. But before we get into the review, can you hit the like button? Fan-dabby, double dozy, that'd be fantastic. And hit the share button. YouTube loves a bit of sharing now. Sharing is caring, baby. Sharing is caring. Thank you very much. Subscribe. Yeah, I was going to say, what's the next thing I want you to do? So like, share, subscribe is awesome. If you're on Rumble, also subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube sometimes are a little bit naughty. Some are a little bit naughty and unsubscribe people hither-dither without a word of warning. They will do that. Please make sure you're still subscribed. Comment, let me know what you think. That also helps the algorithms. Sign up my... There's so many things there. Sign up my Substack. If I ever don't put out content, I put out content every day on YouTube and on Rumble. If I ever don't put out content, that means I've been banned from YouTube. You sign up my Substack, you're updated to my content. I was giving out tons of free comics and stuff and interesting stuff on it. I've had my life just sucked away right now. Ooh, it sounds quite fun, but I've had my life sucked away right now. I've been doing this series for the last month, and I thought it'd be 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day. Today was 40 minutes. It was it's a super religious one series. So after that's over in another couple of weeks, I will be getting back to giving stuff out on my Substack and also my paid Substack, which I'm very, very grateful, and I feel very, very bad and embarrassed that I haven't given anything to the paid subscribers, which is really terrible. I really feel terrible about it. Fine, like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack, we covered everything. Let's get into the review. Let's get into the review of this, the War Doctor Begins Battlegrounds. So this will be season 1, volume 3. They try and give each one individual titles now, and honestly, I wish there was more of a linking theme that held things together. Battlegrounds it's a little bit vague, right? It's a little bit vague. Let's go for the negatives first, right? Negatives first. It does fall into the Big Finish habit of bait and switch. We've got we got Ken Bones here and Edo Anderson. From the first story, they play other characters. I don't remember hearing them in the other 2 stories, right? So I don't even know they're in this much, right? Great cover, Jonathan. That's basically all the negatives I can really think of, apart from that first story, which we're going to get into in a minute. Great cover. I love this new look that they're doing for this series, and in general. I like. Listen, I'm invested in this series, right? I'm invested in the series, so for me, it's a recommend. If you're coming in fresh, I don't know. What will be the best one you listen to? Probably the first one. If you want to listen to John Hurt War Doctor, it'll be the first one of that one. That's written by Nick Briggs. Was that the one with the Vord in it? There was a great little Vord tale in there. And the first one of this range as well. I think probably the best so far. Again, 3 very surfaceable, enjoyable stories in this series. Let's go through them. The Doctor No More. And I wish I could do his voice. Jonathan Carey. so nails it. Just so nails it as the Doctor. I first says John Hurt, but also as a Doctor, he's got that nice little quirkiness about him, even through this like rough exterior. In his place, a warrior, finally joining the time war between the Daleks and Gallifrey. But how far will he go to end the conflict? What lines will he cross? So far, I haven't seen the War Doctor be that evil, right? I would like to see him sacrifice, several innocent species or do terrible things, right? I really would like to see him do something bad. He always ends up being good at the end somehow. How much of himself would he sacrifice? The War Doctor is beginning to find out who he is. So the first story is The Keeper of Light by Phil Maureen, is that how you pronounce his name? I think he's a first-time writer. He's not a first-time, he's not a first-time author. He has a career writing. The problem with this is, which he says in the interviews back, is he's not very familiar with it, right? He's not very familiar with this series, and I think with it in general. So let me read the blurb. The Doctor and faithful companion are on trail of psionic signals. At the remote coastal village, holidaymakers David and Dorothy think they're there for see there's something strange at the lighthouse, but the Doctor can't shake the sense that there's even bigger mysteries to solve. So this was very obvious. It really is very obvious from the opening minutes that this was some kind of like dream sequence, and I thought it was going to last for like the pre-title sequence because it's so obvious. It's firstly they're walking around calling him the Doctor. He's not called the Doctor. He's got a companion called Layla, who's a very traditional companion, right? He's not called the Doctor, and he's in this somewhat traditional story. There's an older couple at a lighthouse who are having some kind of marital difficulties. They came to the lighthouse they came to a vacation, and then there's a lighthouse overlooking it, and it's lighting up, and there's a mystery. But it's all fake, like the whole thing. So I thought, they're going to go for pre-title sequence. No, goes 10 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes. Like about 45 minutes to an hour, and they say the bleeding obvious. None of this is real. I know, right? I know. It was so painfully obvious all the way bloody through. This is kind of akin to the Superman story by Alan Moore. What do you get? The man who has got everything. When somebody Superman gets a gift for his birthday, and it's some alien parasite that makes him visualize a life, what it would be like if he never left Krypton. Right, so how that worked is you had an A-B plot going on, where you had the A plot where he wasn't in his normal world, and the B plot in the real world about trying to get himself out of that. This really doesn't work because the twist is bleeding bloody obvious. Performances are great, direction's great. Louise Jameson deserves so much credit for this set. She deserves so much credit for this series. She's the one who really developed the character and the performance with Jonathan Carey. Fantastic. She does a fantastic job. But that story, bit of a miss, and it really should have been picked up in the scripting stage. Right, it's very, very clear. But the next story, Temosis by Rossa McPhillips, also a new writer, brilliant. In fact, I would say probably one of the best War Doctor stories today. It's fan-freaking-tastic. Really completely nails it. It's a great little idea. There's a Thul's ship, and I love going into that Doctor Who world, seeing things that we recognize on a war footing. So it's a Thul ship. The Thuls are allies of the of the Time Lords. I should read the blurb. That might be a better idea. Fighting alongside Time Lords against their common enemy, some Thals have realized this is not a collaboration between equals. That is true. And when a new battleship is stolen, the War Doctor must convince his old allies that they are on the same side. So this is essentially, there's a new warship, and it's invented by the Doctor, right? For the Thals. It's a gift from the Thals for them to fight the Daleks with. It's a very, very clever little twist. Like this piece, there's a piece of Time Lord technology on it, which isn't temporal, which really, really is organic and works really well. What works much better is the war story. We have Thal commanders, and they got the they got the kind of like that East London twang, right? They feel like Thals. They feel so like Thals. And they've been at war for a long time. And this battleship is being stolen. And is being delivered to the Daleks by somebody, but is he a traitor? Is he not a traitor? And then you got this great bit of political intrigue with the Daleks about is the Dalek contact in this the leader of Red Squad or something? Is he a traitor? Is he not a traitor? Really good, great intrigue and spy stuff, but really fantastic war, right? Really fantastic war story, and it really, really works. The Doctor is the Doctor. I mean, the War Doctor is the War Doctor. Everything feels right about this. Again, I think the best one of this range so far. Really great story. And Rewind by Timothy X Attack. Not as good as Tomosis or Tomosis. But still pretty good with a great ending, right? A great ending. Lucada is on the brink of destruction, attacked by a new breed of Dalek, but every day it's pulled back from the brink, and everyone prepares to live through the end of the world again and again. One strange man alone in this castle holds the key to Lucana's ultimate salvation or its annihilation. So this is essentially, it's one of those great Time War-y stories that you can only do in the Time War. So I really like the Russell D. Davies description of the Time War at the beginning of his Rose adaptation, where it was just like this impossible stuff, and it's beautiful prose, right? But it's really timey-wimey, for want of a better word, like time weapons. So you've got these berserker Daleks, but essentially it's Groundhog Day. Everybody knows the day's going to be reset, and they know they're going to be killed every day. They know their families are going to be killed every day. So this starts off as a Doctor Light episode, which annoyed me, right? Because I want the Doctor, I want the War Doctor in it, right? So it starts off as a Doctor Light episode, but he comes in at about a third the way through, which I think was way too long. Eventually you find out his part in the whole thing. But what I really, really, really love about it, right? What I really love about it is the ending. The ending is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, where you see the Doctor morally challenged in a way that only the Time War can really do, right? Really genuinely morally challenged, and you do not know if he's ever going to be able to pull this together, right? He has to make a decision right at the end, and then in the closing 20 seconds of it is a countdown to something that may or may not happen, and you don't know if it's going to happen, and it really, a lot depends on it, and you just hear the teeniest hint that it does happen before it cuts out. You know what it's kind of like? Have you ever seen what's that movie, Inception, right? Where the Leonardo DiCaprio's got the spinning top thing, and if it wobbles, he's in the real world. If not, so at the end, when he finds, spoiler alert for Inception, awesome movie. You haven't seen it? Cut off this trailer and go watch it. Cut off this review. You haven't seen it, and go watch it now. But assuming you've seen it, so at the end, he gets home. He's with his kids. He spins the top, and he goes out and plays with the kids. And the last picture is the top spinning, and it doesn't stop. It doesn't wobble. And just before it cuts out, you see it might just have wobbled, right? So it's that sort of thing. Fantastic, really, really good. I mean, I'll give that story a good 7.5 out of 10. Rosa McPhillips Tomosis gets 9.5. Fan-frickin-tastic. And the Keeper of Light gets a 4, right? So that's okay. So 9.5 is 13.5 plus 4. 20. Okay, so 21 divided into 3 is 7. Fine, it's a 7 out of 10. I think that's worth a punt. What, $16.99? Download? Yeah, it's worth a punt. It's worth a punt. It's worth a punt because this is a pretty darn good series. Now, is there any ideology in this? You know, is it telling you that you're a bad person if you like Brexit, or if you didn't like Brexit, or no, none of that in this at all. Just entertaining, good, solid stories, right? Really solid stories. Shame the twist was very obvious in the first story, but they can't all be winners, baby. They can't all be winners. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.